Hello viewers, my name is Oti Jonathan Idu. I'm the MD CEO for Boundless Multi-Service Solutions Nigeria Limited, a foremost real estate and project management firm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to invite you to a one-day event tagged Land Ownership Made Easy Promo 3.0. It is an Independence Day special edition and it is coming up on the 31st of October 2020. It is an event that is going to be educative, informative, and life-changing. It is on that day you stand the opportunity to learn how you can invest in the real estates, how you can own properties with ease, the nitty-gritty of real estate investment and land ownership scheme. All these are the things we'll be unveiling on that day. On that day, we'll be having some special side attraction where we have some popular artists performing. There will be a stage drama by the Kunle Afod group on that day, and also we'll be having special discounts, a whooping some 20% discount on that day for every subscriber. There's going to be raffle draws on that day that comes with consolation prizes like TV, standing fan, refrigerator, bags of rice, and others. And also subscribers on that day stand to get additional discounts, and someone will go home with a free plot of land. You don't want to miss this event. The time of the event is by 11 a.m. taking place at Flora Hall of the Santos Hotel at Akwonjora about Egbeda, Lagos. Every Nigerian around the southwest region is being invited to this one-day special event. It is going to be life-changing. It is going to be an opportunity of a lifetime. Come, be a part of it. This is Boundless. We are unlimited in opportunities.
Yeah, hello and welcome again to Summit. It's a beautiful week and it's also the last week in the month of October, and we're really happy to be here with you again today in spite of everything that has happened or has been happening in Nigeria. My name is Jumoke Michaels. Good morning. Banji.
Jumoke, good morning. You know, the thought that just ran through my mind now. I said, what kind of coincidence is this? That 60 years of nationhood, 60 years of our independence has actually coincided. The same month we celebrated 60 years is the same year we're actually witnessing something you may say very close to what we experienced in 1967, that's close to war, a mini war in our country, where everything went overboard. Nigerians were angry, up in arms and all that. And I was wondering, 60 years, should we actually find ourselves where we are now? Not understanding one another, unity is shatters, is not there, the love is not there, so much hatred, so much anger in the land. Now, in 60 years, should we call it, wasted years, or what's actually happening?
Yeah, so many people have tried to make comments on that, especially during the 60th independence anniversary. These things came up, but Nigeria is actually supposed to be farther away from the level we are at. And so many people found fault with all these issues you have mentioned. No love, hatred, disunity is what we have across board. And so it's very, very disturbing, especially with the eruption of emotions that we experienced in the last few days across the nation, especially in Lagos.
Yeah, but really some of the stakeholders have actually come, actually expressed their opinion about what actually took place. NSAS protest, which actually triggered so many things. That it has actually provided us ample opportunity to learn so much about ourselves. Rather than look at the bad side alone, we should also look at where we can actually get it much better. We can learn so much lessons and make Nigeria a country that works for everyone. And I think that makes a lot of sense. That irrespective of the carnage, arson, destruction, and all that, there's so much blessing for everybody, both
Enough
the
blessing.
leaders and the led. Yes, I'm sure you
You
picked
know,
your
yeah,
lessons too.
yeah, but one thing that actually came to my mind was this proverb that said that no matter how many clothes a child has, he can never have as much rags as an elderly person. So I just feel that the younger generation actually missed it by not wanting to listen to the older ones. That means taking counsel, taking guidance, you know. Just say that your generation has passed and this is our generation, let's do it our way, you know. Some of these proverbs, many times they speak positively to us.
Speak
So I guess,
positively
yeah,
to
they
us.
speak positively
But
to
the
us.
good thing is that we're actually regaining our peace in this country. The leaders have actually called for calm, that the youth must actually sheath their swords and they come to a round table for dialogue. All the leaders of thought have actually sued for peace. The past presidents, leaders of thought in religion, in business, I mean across the wide spectrum of Nigerian polity have actually sued for peace, and I believe we are beginning to regain the peace. But our economy, I'm told our economy is gasping
Yes.
for breath amidst COVID-19 and the protests. So Jumoke, it's a serious challenge
Yes.
of a nationhood.
Yeah, so this morning our topic of discussion is actually aftermath of NSAS protest. Nigerians count losses. Losses, serious losses. 1 trillion naira we heard is what
for
we
Lagos
need
State only.
For Lagos State alone to revamp the economy. It needs
No,
1
to fix,
trillion
as well to fix, not
Okay.
even to revamp the economy,
Okay, to fix the losses,
the loss,
the
the
things that were
damaged
damaged.
public properties.
1 trillion naira.
1 trillion
That's
naira.
a huge
That's
one.
a huge one. I mean, the budget for the entire state,
It's
you
less
must
than
get, is
that.
less than that. So how do we raise that fund to actually fix the damaged public property? Jumoke, we cannot, but of course, mention it. Of course, leaders have actually asked us to play down on ethnic interpretations of what happened. The Southwest governors met in Lagos yesterday to sympathize with one of their own, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and they actually were united in their thoughts that this was actually targeted. The destruction was actually meant to weaken the Southwest economy. I don't know how they actually came to that conclusion, because I think the thing was widespread. The impact was much devastating. I mean, in the south, particularly in Lagos. Whichever way, Governor Akeredolu is saying that what happened in Ondo is unprecedented. That's what the destruction of public properties was unprecedented. I practically almost wept too. The dimension that actually made me much more confused was the invasion of private properties, invasion and destruction of private properties. TVC, our sister station, is actually counting losses now because of the serious destruction that actually took place. I'm told over 60 vehicles were burnt down, 4 B vans, equipment studios. We'll talk about it. These are equipment that you don't get on the streets.
Exactly.
And so it costs billions to actually acquire them. So it's a huge loss, both personally, business-wise, and even governmentally. It's a huge loss to us as a nation. So we are counting losses.
Well, that's our discussion on the program today, and we'd also like you to be part of the program. We'll display the number on the screen where you can send us an SMS. Please, an SMS, or where maybe we'll pick calls, depends on how the program goes. But you can be part of the conversation. Let us know how you feel, what you think about everything that has transpired with the NSAS protest in Nigeria. We'll take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll continue with the discussion. Please stay with us.
Hello viewers, my name is Oti Jonathan Idu. I'm the MD CEO for Boundless Multi-Service Solutions Nigeria Limited, a foremost real estate and project management firm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to invite you to a one-day event tagged Land Ownership Made Easy Promo 3.0. It is an Independence Day special edition, and it is coming up on the 31st of October 2020. It is an event that is going to be educative, informative, and life-changing. It is on that day you stand the opportunity to learn how you can invest in the real estate, how you can own properties with ease, the nitty-gritty of real estate investment and land ownership scheme. All these are the things we'll be unveiling on that day. On that day, we'll be having some special side attraction where we have some popular artists performing. There will be a stage drama by the Kunle Afod group on that day, and also we'll be having special discounts, a whooping some 20% discount on that day for every subscriber. There's going to be raffle draws on that day that comes with consolation prizes like TV, standing fan, refrigerator, bags of rice, and others. And also subscribers on that day stand to get additional discounts, and someone will go home with a free plot of land. You don't want to miss this event. The time of the event is by 11 a.m. taking place at Flora Hall of the Santos Hotel at Akwonjo roundabout, Egbeda, Lagos. Every Nigerian around the Southwest region is being invited to this one-day special event. It is going to be life-changing. It is going to be an opportunity of a lifetime. Come, be a part of it. This is boundless. We are unlimited in opportunities.
Okay, thanks for still being there. That's the message for Boundless Multi-Services Solutions Nigeria Limited. So let's find our way to the program this Saturday at that address in Egbeda, Lagos. Okay, we have been joined for the discussion this morning on the aftermath of NSAS protest. Nigeria counts losses. We have been joined by Mr. Jide Udogun, an attorney at law and a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
Let me start by actually congratulating you that you actually survived it. You are here, hale and healthy, to continue the task of nation building.
Thank you.
Nigeria must not crumble.
Oh, thanks.
We must not miss it.
Yeah, we'll rise and
No
shine.
country goes through war two times and
a new
survive.
Nigeria is emerging.
Is emerging.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked questions. How did we get here? Or how did we arrive at where we are? 60 years. We started by saying 60 years of independence. So much expectations of nation. But we are still, but people say we are still a toddler at 60. So many issues. Disunity, hatred, lack of love, no development, and we're still a beggarly nation, so to speak. But this one is being compounded, same month that we're actually lamenting our slogan, being compounded by this protest. It actually started out very well, beautifully, lauded by everybody, even the leaders in power. Let's see where we have found ourselves. Destructions everywhere. The international community has actually also been making comments about it. But to start with, the question is, at what point did the youth miss this opportunity of actually making a bold and big statement and then getting the results for their agitations?
I think it's a very complex question, but I'll try to simplify it in my response. When you talk of the youth, with the present scenario in Nigeria, we have the classification. We have the youth who were highly organized, who tried to turn back infiltrators, who mobilized funds, who were peaceful in their engagements with the government. And suddenly we had this other group of youth who started introducing violence. We saw how in Alausa, in Ikeja, in Lagos, how some hoodlums woke up one morning, came in a bus, wanted to attack the peaceful protesters by the House of Assembly. And we discussed it here, and from the video evidence, Because some initially said they came in BRT buses, but eventually we discovered that they probably didn't come in a BRT buses, that the government didn't send them, but somebody sent them. And in the case of Lekki, even when the governor declared curfew, those who decided to remain there were still peaceful, saying, okay, we'll be here without moving around town. And suddenly, the shootings came. And every action prompts reactions. And suddenly, we had that explosive reaction. And within 48 hours, Lagos recorded losses that may require about 1 trillion naira to restore. And I know that Lagos State will come out better by the special grace of God. So
Amen.
I cannot generally say that the youth lost out. So the big question we should be asking now is, how well have we developed the youth not to engage violence as a way of expressing themselves? Because you saw how it had to spread around the country, going to loot, going to vandalize, going to set cities on fire. I'm still heavily disturbed. I saw the buses that were burnt by Baga, BRT park. And the next question that came to my mind may be quite sensitive, but I believe that the government and major stakeholders should be listening to us right now. How many Danfo buses were burnt? So you see investment going up in flames. So that's why we need to come back to where it all started. The EndSARS protest started as a response to police brutality, police extortion, extrajudicial killings, which are all classified under corruption and abuse of office, under Section 15, subsection 5 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that imposes a mandate on the states to abolish corruption and abuse of office. So those were legitimate claims. Until now, the government has not denied those allegations. And when they came up with, okay, we are going to scrap SARS, we have done that, we are coming up with SWAT. Another issue came up, the issue of trust. Now, can we trust you with your promises? That you've made several promises to us. Can we trust you now? And that was why the protest was sustained. So for me now, we have all learned our lessons. Lesson number one is that government actions are subject to accountability. And that is one of the pillars of good governance when you begin to talk about sustainable development. Number two is the fact that the people may appear docile. When they are really pushed, they can bounce back. Number three is that we have criminal elements in our society. When we claim that about 100 million of the Nigerian population, of about 208 million, are within the poverty bracket, like many have won, it's like we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. I was amazed when I saw the looting of the warehouse in Jos, Plateau State. Human beings climbing on rooftops, and so these are symptoms of fundamental issues we have not addressed. And I have drawn a classification between infrastructure and superstructure. The infrastructure.
No, you've mentioned 3 lessons.
Yes.
I thought you were going to complete them.
No, let's, for time, let's limit it at 3. Okay, maybe lesson number 4 is that God has given us resources that can help us to secure the land and provide adequate welfare for the people, which is the primary purpose of government in Section 14, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended. And whether we deploy resources towards that mandate is a different ballgame, because suddenly you see things that are hoarded here and there, but that is a narrative for another day. And so the big question now is to classify infrastructure and superstructure. The superstructure is the human element. Now, let me go to the UAE. I have mentioned this over and over because the process of learning we open the windows of the world to you to see how things are done elsewhere. I mean, I doubt if what happened in Nigeria recently can happen in the UAE, at least within the space of era we are right now. Why? I said it before, Sheikh Zayed, the founding father of the modern UAE, said that wealth is not money, but developing the people. So you go to the UAE region, the young ones are well educated. You have medical facilities for them. They have jobs to do. They have a business hub that attracts wealth from the world. In fact, it will shock you that Dubai City may have citizens that are just about 30% of the total population. And you see foreigners coming in there. Recently, our First Lady went shopping for the wedding of her daughter. She may be in Dubai for the birth of the expected baby. You see, so that is an example. So what have they done? How have they engaged the youth? But in Nigeria, we have been talking about banditry, we have been talking about kidnapping, we have been talking about unemployment, we have been talking about dropouts from schools, we have been talking about the lean budget for education. So our priorities will determine the consequences and symptoms we have in our society. All right, so, and that is about governance. And if you look at the motto of Nigeria, which was restructured in 1978, it says that unity and faith. So the role of the government is to unite the people. And if you read from section 15 to section 17 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, these elements are clearly positioned there on how the government can achieve that. You unify the people so that they can have faith in Project Nigeria. When they have faith and you care for them, you have peace. You know, unity and faith, peace and progress. And when you have that peace, you can have progress. But let me ask you something. 60 years down the line of political independence, even when we decided to celebrate togetherness, look at what we have in our society. So this is a new beginning for someone like me, an opportunity for a new beginning in Nigeria.
All right, but during the president's broadcast on, I think it's on Thursday, he mentioned some of the policies or opportunities that the government has provided for the youth, because you're talking about governance now and making available for the youth what they actually need. You know, he talked about some of the funds, trader money, farmer money, agriculture, and all those setups for the youth to make life better for them. Is it that the fault is entirely from the government, or the youth themselves are not taking advantage of these open windows?
You know, I commend the efforts of the government, but in comparison with what you have in other countries of the world, there is need to do more. Let me just isolate a particular case. I thank God for the N-Power, the trader money, but you know the trader money itself became a controversial outreach in nature because many assumed it was political in nature. And of course, let me isolate the palliative jobs for the 774 local governments in Nigeria. Look at what happened. Eventually, ministers, senators, the high and mighty were fighting for those jobs for their benefactors, or how do you, for their dependents. A job that is palliative in nature, I think just for about
3 months.
3 months, with 20,000 naira, not up to minimum wage. So if the ministers, the senators, House of Reps members, governors are fighting for such jobs in Nigeria, we have problems. Now, these efforts are commendable. Kudos to the government. But you give a young man now 30,000 naira to go and start a project. He decides to set up a barbing salon. And in 1 month, the power people, electricity people, bring a bill of 28,000 naira. Where does he run to? Okay, he decides to go and borrow additional money to buy generator. He gets to the filling station. The pump price of petrol per liter is 160 naira. All right? And the landlord also must build his own cost on the rent. So where does it go? So it's a holistic issue. And within the same system, you read and hear about those who claim they pay, governors who claim they pay their deputy 13 million naira per month. There are some people are earning about 25 million naira per month. So when you put all this together, you must agree with me that we need to go back to the basics. You see, you need to focus on your economic policies. If you look at section 16 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, it says that the state should harness the resources of the country in a way that we have sustainable development, that the economy is self-sustaining, that adequate welfare, shelter, health care are provided for citizens, the old minimum reasonable living wage, all these things are there. But can we claim that we have this in our society? If our answer is no, then we should not expect peace that is not original peace.
Original peace.
Yes, because honestly, what visited Nigeria in the last 1 week is frightening. We have not sat down to deeply evaluate. You see we saw what you can classify as civil disobedience. Governors declaring curfew and people saying no, we are not respecting curfew. Because how did those who went burning assets in Lagos go out in the midst of curfew declaration? And that sends a strong signal. The resources of a nation are meant for the benefit of everyone. And when you have security, you have peace. When you have peace, you have prosperity. And when you have prosperity, it helps you to secure and to proceed to peace. So it's a spiral thing.
Right.
And we need to just focus on this. Okay. And we have more than enough resources in Nigeria to achieve that.
All right, let's just we'll be back to the conversation, but let's go on a commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hello viewers, my name is Oti Jonathan Idu. I'm the MD CEO for Boundless Multi-Service Solutions Nigeria Limited, a foremost real estate and pre-management firm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to invite you to a one-day event tagged Land Ownership Made Easy Promo 3.0. It is an Independence Day special edition and it is coming up on the 31st of October 2020. It is an event that is going to be educative, informative, and life-changing. It is on that day you stand the opportunity to learn how you can invest in the real estate, how you can own properties with ease, the nitty-gritty of real estate investment and land ownership scheme. All these are the things we'll be unveiling on that day. On that day, we'll be having some special side attraction where we have some popular artists performing. There will be a stage drama by the Kunle Afod group on that day, and also we'll be having special discounts, a whooping some 20% discount on that day for every subscriber. There's going to be raffle draws on that day that comes with consolation prizes like TV, standing fan, refrigerator, bags of rice, and others. And also subscribers on that day stand to get additional discounts, and someone will go home with a free plot of land. You don't want to miss this event. The time of the event is by 11 a.m. taking place at Flora Hall of the Santos Hotel at Akwonjo roundabout, Egbeda, Lagos. Every Nigerian around the Southwest region is being invited to this one-day special event. It is going to be life-changing. It is going to be an opportunity of a lifetime. Come, be a part of it. This is boundless. We are unlimited in opportunities.
Okay, welcome back. Let's continue with the discussion. Banji.
The one that I actually liked you to comment on or to address is the issue of the governors in the Southwest actually visited Lagos yesterday. Some of them, about 4 or 5 of them, visited their colleague, that's the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to sympathize with me on the destruction that actually took place in Lagos. And it was one of the things I actually took away was the fact that the governor of Ondo State, your state, said the coordinated attacks were meant to weaken the economy of the Southwest. What's your reaction to this?
Then it's a brilliant opportunity for them to come together. I already mentioned it when they were migrating to support elections, activities. They were all in, most of them were in Ondo State to support Akeredolu. Now, why don't you go around to support each other economically? And if the governor is saying now that this is a coordinated attempt to weaken the economy of Southwest, then conduct an economic summit, conduct a security summit, call the Obas, call the Baales, call the stakeholders, call the professionals, call the corporate world to help rebuild. The first TV station in Africa was not built with money from the central government, was built with revenue from the regional level. The Cocoa House was not built by federal money. I doubt if Adeni Jones Industrial Estate or Bakran was built with federal money. So
you may want to be curious, sir, permit me to actually cut in there. You may want to be curious, by who? Coordinated attacks of
they know one another.
They know one another.
Exactly.
You are not addressing that.
I'm not addressing that. You see, but you are in office to enhance the fortunes of the people. And if you know the problem and you don't attend to the problem, like somebody said, the problem will become the leader and the leader will become the problem. So your responsibilities as governors is to identify the problems in the society, go ahead and put in place a vision to solve those problems and to enhance the fortunes of the people. For that purpose, you have ministries, you have departments, you have agencies. Citizens are ready to support you. The food items looted in warehouses were donated by the corporate world, reportedly. By the grace of God, it's not a difficult thing to rebuild Lagos. By the grace of God. If some of us are given the opportunity, we advise the government on what to do.
Are you aware?
The confines of
I don't know
Nigeria.
if you are aware the Yorubas in the United States have started to raise funds.
That is what we are saying. So I want to appeal, sir, with all due respect, I said it. When respected Obas in Southwest, I'm not tribalistic in any way, we're going to Aso Villa to beg for security. I was against it. No. The government has a responsibility to secure the people. If they are not living up to that expectation, you rise up within the confines of legitimacy and begin to secure yourself. I must commend, the efforts of some Nigerians who rose up to resist some, attack attempts. So you need to bring the people on board. Don't practice the government of isolationism, where after winning elections you think the people don't matter. The constitution of this country, if you look at section 14 and you read that what says sovereignty belongs to the people. Before the election, sovereignty belongs to the people. After the election, sovereignty belongs to the people. At every point of the value chain, sovereignty belongs to the people.
And that's probably
you ignore the people, you run into crisis.
And that's what probably people are beginning to realize, especially the young ones.
Exactly.
That they have power in their hands.
Exactly. Like I keep saying, there are countries of the world who don't have 7% of the resources we have. And they are not in poverty. I can mention their names. You talk of Netherlands, Switzerland, Norway, Sweden. You talk about the UAE, you talk about Singapore. Singapore left Malaysia in 1965 to proceed in poverty. And today is one of the best places to live and work in the world.
All right, let's take some messages this morning. We have this one. He didn't put his name or where he's sending the message from. He said, our leaders are thieves, they need to be checkmated. All these hoodlums around are being brought up, starting from the public schools all around. No good education, no buildings, no sufficient teachers. 1 or 2 teachers teaching pupils of about 200 and above. It's uncalled for. Please, this needs to be addressed. Another person says the major root cause of this crisis is the exorbitant cost of governance. A senator earning about 15 million naira monthly.
Who is that person?
Another, they are not putting their names.
This
Please,
is
you can
important.
just put your
name and your location is very important, please.
Okay, this one is from Abiodun Ima. He says, why are our leaders who we rely on are so weak? You know, to replace all what people damaged is no problem, but to protect what we need is a problem for them. Well, that's his contribution. All right, I want to ask that, is this the time for youth to begin to conceive new political order? And then what roles should they play in that regard?
Absolutely.
Because they cannot, at this point, many seem to be discouraged or just address.
No, they should not be
issue.
discouraged, and then they should begin to galvanize towards, what I saw when the protest started, the organization was excellent. Even the government acknowledged that. But having said that, we have a lot to do to build a vibrant structure, and again to start the orientation of not taking, bloody money from politicians to sell your conscience. I asked this question: if I collect 5,000 naira from you to vote for you, if I divide that 5,000 naira with 4 years, by 4 years, how much does it come to? So let them realize that we need to change the paradigm of electoral processes, because whether we like it or not, the incidences of vote buying and things like that are there, and that means the youth should begin to massively, reorientate themselves. And I'm also advising the government: engage the youth, raise leaders. If you don't raise leaders, there are bigger crises that may prompt up in the future. We have, right from this studio, we have complained about different kinds of elements imported into Nigeria from Niger Republic, Mali, Sudan, and everywhere. They came in, we started to register them. So when crises come up, there are easy tools to fuel the crisis. There are those, no matter what you offer them, that won't go. What will I go and loot? What will I go? Why am I going to go and break someone's window for what?
And endanger my lives in the process.
Apart from endangering,
over 20 people have lost their lives in the process of looting.
And you see, sir, frustration, it's a cause itself in psychology. Frustration doesn't come up in one day. It's accumulation of anger, low self-esteem, doubts about your future, unmet expectations, suppressed aspirations, and one day you just see everything exploding. I'm asking a simple question that can help the government. For instance, you drive around the Olusegun, you see a mammoth of human beings on that refuse dump operating, and suddenly we declare a curfew. And these guys are saying that, hey, we can go to that supermarket and get rich overnight. They will mobilize. They are not afraid of dying. They are daredevils. So you need to begin to sanitize your environment. I asked a simple question. I cannot just go to New York now, get to Manhattan, and set up a business by the roadside there. You know what I mean? So societies are structured, and you classify everything. All in this Nigeria, the buildings that Alhaji Jakonde built for the low-income earners are still there. Many children have grown up there. They have excelled in life. They've gone around the world. You see, so let's care for the people.
All right, now
let's make provisions.
Thank you. The team, a part of the team that actually visited Governor Sanwo-Olu yesterday was the Speaker, House of Representatives, that's Honorable Gbajabiamila Amina, and he actually did promise. He has always been speaking, anyway, Jumoke will recall the promises he made, that before 2021 budget is passed, before he appears his signature, he will ensure that police reforms are adequately taken care of in the budget, the ASU issues are resolved, and they are attended to the budget. But yesterday he said justice must be served. Those who died before the Lekki shooting, whatever, before the protest, during and after, would actually get justice. Now, the judicial panels of inquiry that have been set up in different states, how far do you think they can go? Do you think we actually, because panels have been set up in the past,
Exactly.
and then you just hear that the panels have been, that's the end.
Still the
you
issue of
hear
trust.
nothing about
Yeah.
it.
Still
I mean,
the
these
issue of
things will
trust.
gather dust wherever it is done. At the end of the
These
day.
are fantastic intentions, and I commend them. I commend the Speaker of the House of Reps and major stakeholders. But the structure we have in Nigeria may not permit that to fly. He is the Speaker of the House of Reps of 360 members. What percentage of that House will support him not to sign the bill? We have seen these things now. What is the weight of influence within that House? How did he himself get there? These are questions. Is the legislative arm in a position to checkmate the executive arm? I recall that the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Reps went to my wonderful President, Muhammadu Buhari, that, sir, come and address this youth. He ignored them until the service chiefs visited him. He now decided to come and address Nigerians. And the Lekki case was out of it. Does he, as Speaker of the House of Reps, do the military take instruction from him? Is he the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces? Is he not what they want to disclose that will be disclosed? We have issues in Nigeria. And that's why people are discussing this structure that we have. So what is left for regions now is to see how to develop your environment. And I am challenging the governors of the Southwest. Is there any harm if you mobilize funds from your state and link all the states in the Southwest with railway lines, that is not federal government railway lines, with good roads? My state, Ondo State, has the second largest deposit of bitumen in the whole world. The rocks in Ondo State, mountains in Ondo State, if you blast 7 out of those mountains, you will fix all the roads in Southwest effectively. You see, so what is stopping us? My state has gold.
And provide jobs.
My state has oil and gas. My state has farming resources in abundance, palm oil, cocoa. You can go on and on. We now come to Lagos. Lagos have sand glass, oil and gas. You go to Osun State. Which state is not abundantly blessed?
So that we don't lose sight of it, would justice be served at those judicial panels or no? Should Nigerians have hope in these judicial panels?
I am expecting that justice will be allowed. In the law school, we learned that justice should not only be done, but clearly seen to have been done. And any society that is seeking peace and decides to bury justice will never find peace. The conveyor belt of peace is justice. You take justice away, there cannot be peace. And that is my advice to the government. And it's a very simple thing. Do the right thing and continue to do the right thing. That is what Lee Kuan Yew did in Singapore. That is why Sheikh Zayed of the UAE said that the blood of the people, you know, that the oil of the region is not dearer. I don't know how to put it, that, you know, you cannot exchange the blood for the oil of the people. So you must use this wealth to provide for the people. And so let's look back again. And for the greedy in our society, where are you going with all these billions? What do you want to become? And release this, develop this country. Let's all, in the last few days now, both the rich and the poor running helter-skelter. Is that a sane society?
Okay, let's get the voice of our viewers.
All right, so let's just hear what people are saying. We have this one from Omoni Razak from Egbeda. He says, governments that have been colonized at first, and anybody above 60 should go and relax. Let's try youth. Example, Babatunde Raji Fashola, when he was young, ruled Lagos, and he's a good example. Let's take another one. Our leaders are greedy. They have overused us. The Lord will help us in this country.
That's from who?
He didn't mention his name.
I think they should
Please
put their
mention
names.
your name, put your name and your location.
And your location.
Government should reason with what the youth are pleading for, then let our president say something. I think he has said something. Okay, that I should say something reasonable to the masses. Well, let's take one more. Our leaders are our problems because we started our protest peacefully and they turned everything upside down. How can our government be collecting over 25 million per month with allowances, and most of the youth in the Nigerian government are their children? This is the main problem of Nigeria. Imagine Tinubu wanting to become a president. Please, they should let the youth, not their children, to take over, and they should all step down. Is it easier said than done?
Is the youth actually prepared for leadership with what you saw in the last couple of days?
We can categorize.
I mean, you think the youth is well equipped, focused, mature, disciplined enough?
Yes, I will say they are, if they can synchronize the resources available to them. I'm impressed by what happened. You see how these people mobilize funds from abroad. This thing started peacefully.
There were just about 20% of those who later joined them.
And that's what we are saying. You see, I think some people have been groomed in this society to protect the interests of the political elite. You see, with elements of violence. For those of us who are monitoring, if I were to go and lecture now on it, those are things that will engage my attention. How did this start, the mobilization? At what point did it become violent? And I try to enumerate some of them. And right now, it has not been completely denied that there was no shooting at the Lekki toll gate.
Okay, please, let's take
So
this
who
call.
shot?
Let's take this call. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, Olusegun from Iyesi. All right, let's have your comment.
Our leaders are just too crazy. How can somebody go to the house of us and they are fighting for the muscle and they are looking for a big amount? Measurement of nation and look at the people that started this week. The way we together are colonized, we should use the colonizer to get that way again. Sometimes people should stand up and fight for their rights. We are supporting them. Whatever it takes to support them, I'm ready to support them. And the retire. As I'm telling you right now, I will start on the talk of this. I have to do them in the university, start of taking the retirement. My last one that is work that I should still looking for job, and they say they are doing. How can we just do to what I do to them? Give them the opportunity, let them start. We all see that how would I do that when they talk about how we will do them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so you were saying, just in a minute, we need to round up now.
You know,
So let's round up the discussion.
Yeah, the purpose of God in Genesis chapter 1 verse 28 is for us to replenish the earth, and for that purpose he has made provisions. And until that mandate is carried out, you may not enjoy peace. And I'm saying there are issues we need to discuss: our unity, the engagement of our resources, equity in the society, and sometimes we claim that there are no-go area. If you don't go there, you will continue to run helter-skelter. So let's come back to Bob.
Okay, let's take one more call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Demola. I'm calling from Odudubaja.
Okay, all right, Demola, let's hear you. 30 seconds.
Okay. Now, these people present that we have is the kind of the crime in the history of Nigeria. And the protest was so organized that nobody carried arms. I mean, the protest that there was no point of carrying arms or any weapons to cause any violence. But it's so unfortunate because of our this is a reflection of insecurity in our country. And we are claiming that we are fighting security, and it's so unfortunate that in the context of the state, in the midst of the peaceful protest, government not seeing our government at different levels, need to sit down, looking, and we sound very clear to protect these protesters. Of course, these protesters not
You need to round up, Demola.
Alright. They have a right from government to be secured. Because we see how people carried out the other civilized process.
All right.
It's unfortunate that we are not being attacked. We are being finished. Not necessarily. And it's so unfortunate in the discussion that our president, the president is not even make mention of the people that are being terrorists.
All right. Sorry, that's all we can take.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for.
All right, so
let
we
me
need to
ask.
go now.
This ends as protest and all that. Have we actually seen the end to it?
No, not at all. The agitations are on. I mean, there are
They're
several
not
agitations.
on the streets.
It may not be on the
Can
street.
you vouch that it will not continue?
I cannot vouch. It may not be on the street. It may be on the street. But like I said earlier, justice must prevail. And let's get this clear. God has blessed Nigeria. Let these blessings manifest.
And let it go
And we
round.
need resourceful and righteous leadership to allow that. And the moment that
All
is
right.
done, it's a great
Thank you
Nigeria.
so much. That's all we can take on the program this morning. We want to thank everyone who has called, and we also thank Mr. Gidi Ologu for joining us this morning.
So I can't thank
And
you enough.
that's
The
our
viewers will not understand. Thank you very much.
And that's our program today. We'll see you again on Wednesday for the midweek edition.
Yeah, I can assure you that the
Bye.
conversation will continue on Summit. We just started on Wednesday. We'll actually continue this discussion. My name is Banji Busari. Thank you.
Hello viewers, my name is Oti Jonathan Idu. I'm the MD CEO for Boundless Multi-Service Solutions Nigeria Limited, a foremost real estate and pre-management firm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to invite you to a one-day event tagged Land Ownership Made Easy Promo 3.0. It is an Independence Day special edition, and it is coming up on the 31st of October 2020. It is an event that is going to be educative, informative, and life-changing. It is on that day you stand the opportunity to learn how you can invest in the real estate, how you can own properties with ease, the nitty-gritty of real estate investment and land ownership scheme. All these are the things we'll be unveiling on that day. On that day, we'll be having some special side attraction where we have some popular artists performing. There will be a stage drama by the Kunle Afod group on that day, and also we'll be having special discounts, a whooping some 20% discount on that day for every subscriber. There's going to be raffle draws on that day that comes with consolation prizes like TV, standing fan, refrigerator, bags of rice, and others. And also subscribers on that day stand to get additional discounts, and someone will go home with a free plot of land. You don't want to miss this event. The time of the event is by 11 a.m. taking place at Flora Hall of the Santos Hotel at Akonjo roundabout, Egbeda, Lagos. Every Nigerian around the Southwest region is being invited to this one-day special event. It is going to be life-changing. It is going to be an opportunity of a lifetime. Come, be a part of it. This is Boundless. We are unlimited in opportunities.